Hey Marcus, let's take a look at this one here. Sorry for the late delay on this one, buddy. But basically we have a graph and an equation of function f, which are given right here. So we know what the function is, and here's the graph. And part A, we need to use the graph to find any values at which f has a relative maximum. So we're going to use the graph and figure out the values that would be. And then we're going to use the equation to calculate the relative maximum for each value. Then we're going to do the same thing with the minimum. So if we blow this up, just so we can have a look at it here, here's essentially what's going on. Okay, and I suspect that you're probably pretty good already at figuring out, this is the relative maximum right here, this is the relative minimum, that's great. But what are the x values here? And for that, we have to look at this little window right here. This is our zoom in window. And this is a case of really like Texas Instruments kind of just puncturing curriculum and all this stuff. Basically, this is what it would look like on a TI-83 graphing calculator. You don't have to use them. I don't believe in them at all, but apparently my math lab or math Excel still does. So what this tells us here is how this window is zoomed in. And our first coordinates here, you can see we have -5, 5, 1. What that means is on the x-axis, it always starts with the x, just like an ordered pair, x, y. It means we're going from -5 to 5, and each tick in between is 1 unit. Okay, so that's just telling us the scale here. So this is like -5, -4, -3, -1, so and 0, and so on. I should blow that up so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so for each tick here, 0, here's -1, -2, -3, -4, and that's -5. And the same in the positive direction. Okay? Our next little block here is the y coordinate. So now again, we're going from -100 to +100, but each time now we're going up by 10 units. So if I just zoom that up again, this would be 0, this would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Okay? So we're going to use that information just to figure out the x's first. Okay, so let's do the relative maximum. Let's blow this up. Knowing what we now know, here's the maximum right here, and I would say that corresponds to, -3, right? 0, there's -1, -2, -3. So let's say x equals -3, and now we'll use this function. We'll sub in -3 for x, and then we'll be able to figure out what that value is. Okay, so the relative maximum is located at -3. We can pump that in right now. That's the x value. Now let's find the y value, or the fx of that value. Okay, so we have 2x cubed plus 3x squared. Just bear with me here and I'll jot that down. 3x squared minus 36x plus 2. Okay, and I know that x equals -3 in this case, so let's sub that in and we'll solve. So I have 2 times -3 cubed plus 3 times -3 squared minus 36 times -3 plus 2. Ran out of room, but hopefully you can follow me. Okay, now we have -3 squared is going to be -27. Plus 3, that's going to be 9. Watch your negatives on these two, right? That's going to be plus 36 times 3. What would that be? 36 times 3. 18. That'd be 108. Positive 108 plus 2. Let's keep going. 2 times -27, that's going to be -54. Plus 3 times 9, that's going to be 27. Plus 110. Right, just adding the other two right there. Okay, now we'll keep going. We have -54 plus 27 plus 110. Well, I'll do these two first. We got 110 and 27. That's going to be 137, and then we'll just take 54 away from that. I'm doing it old school, buddy. No calculator on me. So I apologize for that. That's going to be 8. All right, so 83. So all we did is essentially subbed in That's our x, and now we're going to find that our max is at 83. Pardon me. Now we completed that. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing now for part B. I'll leave that up to you. Do the minimum. Again, find the minimum. You know that your x value here, for the minimum, your x value is going to be 2, right? I would say. That's 2, so we know it's 2. You can try to eyeball it, but it's best in this case to sub it in again, sub in 2 for x, and then evaluate, and that should give it to you. Okay, so I hope that helps.